Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to 4Strategy Gaming, and time for some more StarCraft 2 strategy. Today's game is going to be between Nerchio and Seiplo. Seiplo, AI Seiplo. That's probably not the proper way to pronounce the name, but that's okay. That's alright, that's okay. Something anyway. Alright, so Seiplo down here in the lower right hand position of Shakuras Plateau as our red Protoss player. And up over here in the upper left hand spot, we've got Nerchio as the pink Zerg player. So yes, this is going to be a Zerg versus Protoss, Nerchio versus Seiplo here on Shakuras. Now, I was just going to do one game. I had a whole bunch of other stuff going on. I've been crazy busy, crazy busy, kind of. Basically, I have had a rough time, basically, over the past couple days getting those videos up. Our typical videos, typical videos that we're doing throughout the course of the week. And I know that kind of was probably frustrating for a lot of you guys. I'm going back on a normal set schedule starting now. As soon as you watch these videos, expect from this point forward things to be running smoothly and as you typically see them. And again, I apologize for those couple of days of pretty much no content. I believe I came up with a couple of Star Wars The Old Republic videos, and I'm sure, some of you thought that was cool, some of you hated it. Either way, we'll be getting back to your normal schedule and expect the normal videos, everything, Force Feed, StarCraft, normal Diablo videos for the week, Purgatory, Diablo Cast, normal StarCraft videos, everything like that. And I'm having a hard time talking today, too, apparently. My throat's just been like, you can't talk. All right, so Nerchio, we'll be starting off on one base play, something that we allude to a lot in the PvZ matchup. Kind of really got to do that on a map, especially on a map like this where you come to expect Forge Fast Expand. So it's very probable that Seiplo could have gone Forge Fast Expand. However, as we see, he's gone Nexus first. Holy heck, what is he doing? Nexus first here is what we're seeing from Seiplo. Very dangerous position. He will be getting a Forge, but not in the standard position, not standard whatsoever. In fact, he can't even get any cannon coverage right now at his natural. I'm concerned that Nerchio is going to go with one base and just move out. In fact, those 4 Zerglings are going to hit this. Seiplo, what are you doing? This is a great opportunity here for Nerchio. I'm not exactly positive as to what Seiplo is doing. Now, this is killing me here. We're going to get a couple Zerglings out here very soon. He's going to start that first cannon, but we're going to have this drone try to disrupt that as much as possible. So here comes the one cannon. But, then what? We're going to see Zerglings walk into the main. Man, Seiplo. The last game, I just commentated one of the most epic games I've ever seen. And now this game I already feel is going to be like super facepalm because already I'm really concerned. Now this cannon placement is going to hit those lings, but I think those lings are going straight into the main. No, there's the gateway. Now here come the lings, and they're going to try to take this out, and it's going to be close. They get it. Zerglings going up into the main. Probes, though. Ooh, nice micro. Sorry for the weird high-pitched voice for myself. Okay, hats off to Seiplo because I really thought that he was really in trouble there, but I'm impressed. Good job. That was kind of unnecessary, though. Here's the thing. Let's take a look at that resources lost. This, right now, Seiplo should have no resources lost at this point in the game. If he went pylon, forge, cannon, he would have been fine, right? But instead, he ends up loses 2 probes there in that engagement unnecessarily. Loses 2 probes unnecessarily, forced to cancel a building, which loses resources. Also ended up losing the gateway. I mean, all that was unnecessary. Seiplo, if you just went standard, pylon, forge, cannon, that you wouldn't have lost anything. So, you know what, really? Nerchio, I mean, it was obviously the right move for him to attack, even though he almost made it, but didn't quite make it up into the main. That was certainly the right move. Certainly a good move on him. Very interesting building placement, though, actually. I'm kind of intrigued. He's got the cannon in a safe, tucked-away position. Major concern, though, is like roaches would take out that cyber core without any retaliation from photon cannons whatsoever. So that's my only concern here with Seiplo's building placement at the moment. So back over here, here come right as I say that, I was too caught up in what happened before. Right as I say that, here come the roaches. So let's talk about what I just said. Right here, roaches will fire and take out that cyber core. And that, see, what happens if you go for the wall off up here, and it's just kind of like a straight shot wall in this direction, and basically what you can do is you just drop some force fields here, and then you're all set. But obviously, Nerchio is not going to provide Seiplo with that opportunity as the Roach is making their way on up. Now, they're going to force that Zealot back, and then here they go straight for the Cyber Core, completely out of the sea. This is great building placement for Zerglings. This is beautiful for dealing with Zerglings. But dealing with Roaches, kind of crappy, because the Roaches right now are going to take out the Cybernex Core. Goodbye, Cybernex Core. One Stalker is not enough of pressure here to force these Roaches all the way back, and the Cyber Core gets dropped. Now, in addition to that, he can hit right now the Assimilator. He can get the Pylon. Heck, he might even be able to range that Nexus. I think he can. The Stalker is going to make that difficult with some micro, and actually, there you go, Roach is back. But you know what? Hey, Nerchio, you're feeling pretty comfortable right now, I'd have to imagine, because taking out that gateway is devastating for Seiplo there. Now, Seiplo is making a transition here, as we can see, coming out with a Stargate. He's actually be moving into some Void Ray play, hopefully for Nerchio. That's something that he's prepared for. It doesn't look like he is, though, and this is a great opportunity for some retaliation here from Seiplo, as there really isn't much that's going to protect this expansion here from that. He's got that one Queen. He will not get a second Queen down there in time to defend it. We also got a Phoenix that will be following up, and you know, trying to do what he can to not miss a beat, essentially, although obviously losing that Cyber Core was a heavy loss for Seiplo. Once more, he's just going to try to eke his way back in the game. Now, here we go, Sacrificial Overlord Scout. He'll actually be able to make it on in. We are going to have that one Phoenix here to do some damage, but that's not going to be able to kill that Overlord before he gets his intel. We do have that Void Ray moving out over here, and here comes the Spore Crawler. So that Void Ray has been spotted moving across the middle, and the Spore is going to attempt to help deal with it. My voice is falling apart here. So right now we're going to have that Queen move down, and we do have enough energy to lift him up. Is he going to do it there? There we go, finally lifting it up. We'll be taking out that Queen as that Void Ray now fully charged. He's going to be able to drop that very quickly. These Spores, though, have enough time to come into play and force these forces back. And there we go. Nerchio is pretty much all set. He's going to drop some Spores over here as well. Coming out with, should be coming out with a few more Queens. I only see one Queen in production. Would like to see more than that. Oh, I think he was sitting on a supply block. All right, so should be coming out with at least 2 more Queens here. Wants to have at least 1 per base, and then maybe 1 or 2 extra. You can see right now got another Queen popping over there, so he's got 3 in play. And here comes our Stow. Yes, he'll be sitting on 4. He's got 3 hatcheries. That sounds about right. We have some Roaches over there in the center of the map. That is going to get forced back, though, as the Graviton being there from those Phoenixes, plus that Void Ray, are able to take them out. So Roach is making their way all the way back over here. These 2 crawlers, these 2 Spore Crawlers, plus that Queen will be enough to deter Seiplo from being able to do much. We got a Speedling counterattack moving in. That's not going to do much damage at all, though. Actually, no, they're just sitting there idly for the moment. Going to be attempting to move across with his Air Force. Really confused there about those Overlords. I think that was a missed rally. He just wanted his other forces, not the Overlords, to get over there, as he is going to lose that one already. And repositioning the Spore Crawler over here to try to better deal with this harass. Now we're actually going to be seeing Seiplo move into another expansion here as he moves down to his 3rd base. Zerglin's moving up to try to do some damage. Full surround there, and able to take out that poor little sentry, and going to do some damage here to the economy. However, Seiplo pushing back with his forces, able to mop up the rest of those Zerglings. I think that air harass is pretty much all done right now. I don't know what Overlords are still doing in the center of the map. That should not be happening. Yes, he's got the protection of that Spore Crawler, but he's in danger of losing that. We'll be pushing out with the Queen, trying to defend that Overlord. Also trying to do some damage here to that Void Ray. And see you later, Queen. Queen's going to get taken out. Graviton Beam. Going to try to move that Spore Crawler. I don't know what good that's going to do. Might have just even made his Overlord a little more vulnerable. Now he's got lots of Roaches coming out. In fact, interestingly enough, no anti-air. He's not moving up to Hydras. He's not trying to work his way up into Corruptors or Mutas or anything like that. In fact, he's just going to mass up Roaches and push out. That does appear to be what Nerchio's game plan is. We'll see how effective that is as well. Now, still more harass going on, unfortunately, without enough anti-air. Right now, just got the 2 Queens. Nice transfuse. Gonna help make things a little difficult there. Forced back. Queen gets lifted up again. Finally taken out. Spore Crawler doing what it can for damage, but unfortunately not able to drop any of those. So we're gonna see a massive push here from Nerchio. And he better do a lot of damage because he is pretty far behind right now. Decided not to go up to Hydras or any Spire tech. So this push that he's got coming up really does need to do damage. Let's take a look at Seiplo. Been so focused on the action over there. Let's see what he's got going on. Upgrades right now. He's sitting at 0-1, about to be 0-2. Coming in Robotics Bay as well. So we'll be working up to some Colossus tech too. We're seeing a little bit of Econ harassment. See that Spore Crawler move back down into a position over there. Tried to defend this. A little concerned about that spawning pool, though. That's exactly why that Spore is moving on down there. In fact, that Spore is enough of a threat there to the Void Ray to force it back. Here comes the Roach push. Some beautifully placed force fields, though, stopping those Roaches from doing too much damage. Looks like they were able to kill off a little bit, though, and actually they're making their way right up into the expansion. And here's the concern. He's going to attempt to come up from the backside, do what he can. Roaches moving right up on those Stalkers. Going to do a lot of damage. Let's see if we see any Stalker micro here. There we go. Some of those Stalkers with Blink able to push back, though. Nerchio is doing a bit of damage there with those Roaches. It's going to be really close right now. Hard to say. And there we go with that additional Warp-ins. We're going to see Seiplo is all set. So the Roaches will be forced back right now. We'll get some Roach reinforcements coming down, but those quick Warp-in reinforcements completely overwhelmed Nerchio. Nerchio breaking through those shields was very close to busting down that Nexus, but Seiplo was able to defend himself just in time. Now, do have a 4th base up here, so Nerchio trying to maintain a strong economy, keep up with the fact that Seiplo does have 3 bases. Here comes Colossus. Also got a Thermal Lance upgrade, of course, giving them that extra range there. It doesn't look like there's any more air tech coming out. In fact, he has moved down with his Air Force, and will be joining the rest of his army. And, oh, there we go. Finally decided to move out for some additional harass. Again with the Overlords, man. This guy's dead. See you later. I don't know why Nerchio keeps trying this, especially without Overlord speed. Now, he has made his transition, finally coming out with some Spire tech. Also got another Evolution Chamber coming out for some additional upgrades. Where is that Spire, though? I can see the Mutas coming out, but there it is. The Spire coming out, pumping out those Mutas. Coming out also with an Infestation Pit, so we'll work his way up into Infestors, or could just be using that to get up into Hive Tech. We'll have to see. And here we go. Hasn't spotted the Mutas yet, I don't think. I really don't think he has. He's going to be moving out with those Mutas, maybe hitting the backside, trying some Econ harass at the same time. Looks to be pushing out across the map. Now we've got one Colossus in play. Another Colossus almost done. Thermal Lance almost done, but here comes the harass. Right now moving straight in the back of the main. We're doing a bunch of Econ damage here with those Mutas. At the same time, he's pushing up into the attempted 4th base here of Seiplo. Seiplo should be forced to cancel that off. We get a lot of damage going down. That Colossus is a goner. Is he going for it? No, the Phoenixes are coming down. Here we go. Surround with Roaches. Speeling's also moving up to help. That Colossus nice and safe and tucked away. In fact, that one joining the assistant here, and there we go, moving down, trying to intercept those Colossus. However, Blink Stalkers moving in defensive position, preventing that. Mutas continuing up their Econ harass, and actually I think they did a fair amount of damage. Wow, 40 workers killed. Nerchio with some beautiful, beautiful Muta harass. Phoenix is finally taking them out, but those Mutas did a bunch of damage. Seiplo realizes that. Now let's take a quick look here. 43 probes as opposed to 78 drones. There's going to be a big discrepancy here. Nerchio's got a tremendous economic lead. Those Mutas prove to be very effective. We're going to see Seiplo attempt to push out for a counterattack as he just tries to get himself back into this game here. A couple Roaches and Speedlings, again, delaying that expansion. He was able to force the cancel there and prevent that from going up. So Seiplo is just on 3 bases at the moment. However, this push looks like it could be pretty devastating. It's going to be close right now. We got 10 Roaches, a couple Corruptors, and Speedlings about to pop out. And he really needs to defend this push right now. Nerchio can, I don't know, he can't afford to lose to this here. Here we go. Roaches moving forward. Corruptors moving out to take those Colossus down. The Roach numbers getting smaller and smaller. And some nice Blink Stalker micro helping Seiplo quite a bit. And this is a little bit concerning here for Nerchio as he's losing most of his force. Still got some Corruptors to take out this Colossus, but his ground force is dead. 28 Zerglings coming, 6 Roaches. I don't think it matters right now. We should be seeing Seiplo probably move on to an Expo. He could also try to move into the main. I guess it really doesn't matter if he takes out the economy. It's pretty huge, though. He's got a pretty big advantage right now. Also, we just saw a lot of Speedlings built, but look at all those sentries. Going to be able to lay down some force fields and prevent those Speedlings from doing much damage at all. Look at that force field placement. Couple Speedlings coming from the backside. Colossus going to make his way into safety there. Safety in numbers as he sits right in the main. What is wrong with this game? Nerchio says. Nerchio not too happy about that performance. Either way, though, it was a pretty good game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this game here between Seiplo and Nerchio. Looks like Seiplo did end up taking the game, even though that he had that pretty botched opening and also took some damage to that Muta harass. With some Phoenix and Void Ray harass, and then just massive push, Seiplo was able to plow over Nerchio's army. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned in the future for some more StarCraft 2 commentaries, as well as all of the regularly expected videos from my channel. As always guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.